Okay, Mr. Santoro. As you can see, there's not many people in this audience who don't know Mr. Matura. Whether you had him, whether you know him, whether you know of him, through his teaching, his amazing teaching in science and earth science. You might know him because he coached so many sports, especially varsity wrestling and what he did for that wrestling program. You may know him because of that red and white car outside the school. For ungodly hours that car was out there and you knew when he was in the building. Or most of all, you may know him because he poured his heart and soul into educating our children for 40 years. 40 years. Mr. Matura, thank you. Just give me 1 minute. Yes. Mr. Santoro, we thank you as a community, as you can see, for your time, for your complete devotion, and for going above and beyond every minute of every day for 40 years. Mr. Santoro. All right, can you step away from the steps? You're making me nervous. Thank you. Okay. This is also unique. This is part of why I wanted y'all to be here. What we've done here is we've gotten Mrs. Green, come on up. We have 2 plaques to give you two. And I'm going to read them if you don't mind. They're not gravestones, Mr. Matura. That's Mr. Matura. Oh, I gave you an extra year, Mr. Matura. This is 34 years. All right, so you have to stay 1 more year then. All right. This is a plaque presented to Pete Matura for 34 years of dedication and devotion to teaching, inspiring, and encouraging all students. Your time and effort with student activities have brought traditions to OBMS that will be long remembered. And then there's one of his favorite quotes on here too, and a little T-bird. It's adorable. The roots of education are bitter, but the fruit is sweet, by Aristotle. Mr. Matura. Plaque dedicated to Mr. Santoro reads like this. Presented to Bill Santoro for your exemplary leadership and selfless dedication of time. For 40 years of teaching, have inspired and encouraged every student who has entered room 5, which we like to call the cave. And the quote that Mr. Santoro loves with Snoopy, because he's a Snoopy guy, says, "Give everything you've got for as long as you can." And isn't that Mr. Santoro? Mr. Santoro. Now, what I'm going to say real quick is that we got the 2 plaques, and we're going to place them on the first floor science wing outside room 5, which is in that whole wing, which is where they spent a great deal of their career. And this time, I'd like to let this audience know and the school community know that we'll be dedicating our first floor science link to Mr. Matura and Mr. Santoro. So thank you.
Thank you. I speak for Mr. Matura myself when I say it's a privilege to work with your sons and daughters. This will be very short. I also taught a lot of the parents that are here tonight. You know that. I have to do this because I don't have much time left. I checked my file this morning, and Mrs. Barton, you owe me the Rock and Mineral Lab. Danny Cicenti, you owe me the Orbit Lab. And Chrissy Whitaker, the weather maps are overdue. I did say I would take things late, but it's been several decades now. And I have to get this squared away by Friday. Thank you very much, everybody.